30s, in his 30s, according to them, as a grown
Mhm.
man. Put it like that, as a
As
grown
a
man. He
grown
didn't get
man.
baptized till he was a grown man, and that's when the supposed God or whatever spirit is controlling him to be what he is came upon him. And that's like the same thing with Judas at the time in the Bible. Now it just this story that I just told you about that I've been looking for, that portion of the Bible adds merit to that particular story now because according to the Bible, Judas was just a cat who betrayed God. But when you get further in the book, Judas didn't betray God
He was
or
just
didn't have
obeying.
really thoughts of betraying God until the spirit jumped into him after Jesus said, "Hey, the person I pass this to, that's the person who's going to betray me." Huh,
Mm.
what a coincidence that you happen to pass it to this person that you already spoke upon in secrecy to do this thing. It just so happened to turn out that way. But again, the older text is, the more reason to believe it for humans for some reason. The older, the older you can find literature, it just got to be real. It just got to be true. It just got to add to the faith that I've already believed in or that I'm choosing to want to believe
Okay, but
in.
for me, what where I began to question was when I started reading about 5 other religions that were similar to, like, the birth of Jesus, and they had, like, Kemet, and they had some other names or whatever that came thousands of years before the allegedly birth of Jesus. And so
hmm
what had happened was somebody who I don't know who that person was, heard of these stories, and then they basically took bits and pieces of these stories from these other religions, and it became the Bible.
That's I don't know how true that may be, but that's exactly how the Bible reads. Yeah, it reads like it even got stuff like if you paid attention to the like if you read the Bible, it speaks like
And they
it's
changed the names.
yeah yeah like the book of Judges or the book of Chronicles is something else in the Ethiopian Bible, where the book of Enoch, the
Oh,
whole
I
book of
forgot about
Enoch
the
is.
Ethiopian Bible. I heard the Ethiopian Bible was something else. It's like the closest Bible to the truth I heard was the Ethiopian Bible.
Yes. I've been looking, yes, yeah, that's what I heard too. I've been looking for all sorts of Bibles, but I don't want to just go buy a new modern Bible. I don't want that bull crap because again,
No,
my
I think it
religion. Oh, go ahead.
I'm interested in maybe purchasing an Ethiopian Bible. And I'll be honest, I think the reason why I haven't is because I think I'm afraid of what I'm going to read. And I think it's either going to justify what I already was thinking, or it's going to be like, okay, well, everybody is right.
But so okay, let's talk about that for a second. Yeah, I don't worry about. I don't believe in my own imagination to that degree. Imagination is dope. It's a dope thing to have. I think it's a necessity to have. I
Absolutely.
think imagination helps with coping with sanity, you know. So it's not a bad thing, but I think believing in your own imagination to the degree of this or something is real, that's part of adding to the psychological damage that's already been bestowed upon us. So again, I cannot care less than what I already don't care about what you believe in, especially when it comes to God. But
Yeah.
at the same time, like earlier, hypothetically, we're right.
Yes.
But for me to believe that we're right to the degree that believers do, that's to me what we call insanity. Because you can't sit here and tell me anything outside of it's more than a feeling. It's more than a feeling. Yes, you know what's more than the feeling? reality, tangible. That's more than a feeling. Feelings are exactly what it is. Feelings, imaginative. Even if it does make you feel this way for real, it's still imaginative because you're not visibly seeing what it is that you're feeling. You're not visibly feeling pain like you're supposedly imagining that you're feeling. You do feel you do feel something, but the actual pain to the degree that you're feeling, oh, I feel like I'm burning up. I feel like I'm on fire. Okay, we can see that's what you call that metaphorically. You can see that metaphorically. You're not really on the fire, but the fact that you're feeling this way is your imagination playing on you, or you internally feeling some type of illness that's putting on the feeling of feeling on fire, which is what we would call your body fighting off whatever type of whatever inside you, doing what it's supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we don't even really know what that it is, but we know science told us that it's your body fighting off enzymes and bacteria. But going off a book, like most of us do, we're choosing to want to believe that. And that's how I feel about religion. I don't, to me, it's not rational to believe in it. And it's not, and it's to me, it's not rational for you to say, well, God is not rationally meant to be felt this way, or it's not meant to be rational. It's supposed to be supernatural. Like, but that's my point. That's my point for you to counterattack me with where you're supposed to one ask for belief to believe in this, but niggas, that's my point. I mean, I'm not trying to prove a point, but that's what I'm trying to convey of what you just said. How am I not believing in this, but I believe it enough for it to give me the power to believe in what I'm possible of it itself? Like, no, that's like me saying I believe that Coach Terry here is God. But well, no, that just say you are God. Let's
Okay.
use it. You are God. And me still feeling the way that I feel about religion. I don't believe that you are God. But technically, I'm religious because of how much I spend my time in religion and talking about it. But in order for me to start believing in you, Coach Terry, that you are God, I must ask you for the wisdom to believe in you. That that sounds like the loopholes of what I've been talking about all the time when it comes to religion. I should just start believing then if I'm going to take my time out to believe. But here's something that makes it more easier for me. Coach Terry, you're right there. You're literally talking to me, not in
Yes.
person, but a picture of a figment of reality, I guess you could say, in
Mm-hmm.
talking to you. And I can now actually believe that I'm talking to God right now because I'm looking at God.
Looking at
I'm
me.
not
Yes.
I'm not turning away like the prophets of all the prophets that handpicked chosen by God. I'm not turning away because a computer out of nowhere just told me it was God. Oh, that's God. Let me turn around so I can have everything that we've just been doing this whole entire time talk to. So I don't know that I'm talking to God, but I believe I'm talking to God. You know what I'm saying? But that stuff right there baffles me. And that's the more intriguing thing to me. Why you choose to want to believe this outside of the feelings it gives you to want to believe that this is real. Like, but you don't believe that the entity itself is. That's like the best way I can put
Yeah.
it.
I think the latest thing for me that I can't say they convinced me. that I heard, and it made me just think that God is within all of us. That's why he said he made man in his image, that God is in all of us. And that's why we are able to manifest
Oh. In
things,
our image. He didn't say his, our
our
image,
image. And
which
so
is strange
when
too
it
that people don't talk about.
right. And so when it said our image, it somebody said that the reason why it's our image was because God and Jesus was there even in the beginning, and then later on manifest as a man on earth in the flesh, or became flesh, because Jesus was there with God in the beginning, even before Adam and Eve. That's why he said made it in our, because again, that was he was I would say, who is our?
Exactly.
When I was
Those
reading it, I was like,
those people who didn't leave with the devil when he decided to dip out.
and the angels and all of that stuff. Yeah,
hmm
in
But
our image.
going on what you said, that's tripped out within itself. Like we tell ourselves anything, and we'll believe what we tell ourselves just to justify what it is that we are choosing to want to do.
Choosing to believe.
Again, this don't have to necessarily be about religion. Like we do a lot of the things that we do in life. Outside of people asking us, "Hey, can you do this for me?" I ain't talking about that. I'm just talking about the things that we want to do and that we choose to do, even though we know better on some things. We still do them, even though we know better. And then we'll tell ourselves anything, and we'll believe that said thing just so it can justify what it is that we're choosing to want to do. That right there, that don't even make sense to me that Jesus was around before, in the beginning of all things, before the creation of all things. He was there with them. That don't even make sense that that's Jesus, but yet Jesus is God on earth. That's two different entities that you're talking about. You're talking about God and
They said
Jesus,
that he
but for
was
some,
there in the beginning. They were like, he was there in the beginning,
mm-hmm,
and then later on, he came down and became flesh like a man and walked around as a
mm-hmm,
man so that he can they said so that he can understand.
humanity.
Yes.
Yes, I've heard that, but again, I changed nothing of what I just said. Like to me, that sounds like another loophole that that
Yes.
you decided to want to believe.
That somebody came up with,
Uh-huh.
as a theory that somebody created to help to justify.
Like when you hear people talk of Jesus, to me, I'm asking you, does it sound like they speak of God and Jesus of two separate entities when they talking
Yeah,
about
most
them?
of the time it's two different entities,
Exactly. In Christianity, people when
not the
they
same
talk
person.
about religion, yeah, when they talk about religion, they speak of Jesus as a completely different entity than God.
God.
But turn around in the same statement would say
He's
Jesus
the same.
is God. No, Jesus
Yes.
is God.
Is
And
God. Yeah.
also would turn around will also say, but he's the spirit as well, the Holy Spirit, which is
Spirit,
that
right.
spirit.
But
That's here's the comical thing. That
so now
spirit
that's
is
where
the
the Trinity
thing.
comes from.
Exactly. And that spirit is what you're asking to be blessed with before you start reading the Bible so you can start to believe, which is again, be as people, listen to what it is that you're saying. Like, how can Jesus be the right hand man of God, but be God down here? Like, either he's another God or he's a demigod, which is half human, half God. Mean and not the same thing. So which one is it? Blind followers. That's what I like about this particular conversation with you and with you. You're the only one that I spoke on that said You do believe